808 people, 33 countries. Women fall in love through a completely different brain than men, and most men are triggering the wrong chemicals every single time. Here's what the science actually says. Her brain isn't looking for impressive. It's looking for safe, seen, and slightly unpredictable. These conditions trigger a neurochemical cascade most men never activate. Not because they can't, because nobody told them how it actually works. Think about the guy she dated before you. He had better jokes, better car, probably better everything on paper, but she couldn't stop thinking about the other one, the quieter one, the one who looked at her like she was worth figuring out. That wasn't luck. That was neurochemistry. She's texting someone right now she'd call just a friend. Her friends think she's crazy. She can't explain why she can't stop. He's not even that attractive, but her brain is literally addicted to him. That's not romance, that's serotonin. Here's what most men completely miss about attraction. A 2005 study published in Biology of Sex Differences tracked 808 people across 33 countries. The findings stopped researchers cold. Women with higher serotonin activity experience significantly more obsessive thinking about a romantic partner. Not women who were more emotional, not women who were more dramatic, women whose brains were neurochemically primed to fixate. And here's the critical part most men skip past. You can trigger that fixation. Without status, without perfect looks, without saying the exact right thing. The behavior that spikes her serotonin isn't performance, it's presence. When her brain starts involuntarily returning to you, that's not infatuation yet. That's the beginning of obsession. And obsession is the door love walks through. But serotonin is only the first chemical. There are three, and they fire in sequence. Miss one and the whole thing collapses. The second chemical is where most men destroy everything they built. Her attachment system runs on oxytocin and vasopressin. These are called bonding chemicals for a reason. They don't activate through words. They activate through physical and emotional presence. Prolonged eye contact, held just 1 second too long, physically triggers oxytocin release in her prefrontal cortex. Slow, deliberate touch on her forearm activates vasopressin pathways tied to trust and emotional dependency. This isn't poetry, this is neuroscience. But there's a counterintuitive truth here most men never hear. UC Davis psychologist Paul Eastwick spent years studying what actually predicts deep romantic attachment. The answer wasn't status, wasn't dominance, wasn't wealth. It was emotional attunement, men who practiced emotional mirroring, reflecting her energy, matching her tone, making her feel genuinely seen, had statistically higher rates of triggering real love, not short-term interest, actual love. The men who talked about themselves the most, the ones who performed for her attention, they triggered something completely different. The behavioral activation system, her brain's reward-seeking engine, lit up briefly, then flatlined. She thought he was interesting. She didn't obsess over him. There's a massive difference between interesting and unforgettable. Now here's the third chemical. This one is where it gets dangerous, dopamine. She needs microdoses of uncertainty to keep it flowing, not confusion, not games, uncertainty. The difference between knowing exactly what you'll do next and wondering what you might say. Her brain evolved to pay more attention to what it can't fully predict. That's not manipulation, that's basic neuroscience. Men who are completely readable get categorized. Men who stay slightly mysterious stay active in her neural reward loop. She keeps coming back. Not because she's confused, because her dopamine system hasn't closed the loop yet. Now here's what you actually do with this. First, use the 3-second delay. Before you respond to anything she says, pause, count to 3. Neuroscience shows perceived thoughtfulness spikes dopamine in her brain. Your words carry 10 times more emotional weight. Average men react instantly. They seem impulsive, unremarkable. You seem deliberate, worth paying attention to. Second, ask one question per conversation that makes her examine herself. Not what do you do for work? Something like, what's the last thing that genuinely surprised you? Her behavioral activation system fires hard when she's made to reflect. She associates that feeling with you. That association compounds over time. Third, practice the hold. Eye contact for 4 seconds before you look away. Not intensely, calmly. Touch her arm once, slowly, with intention, and then don't touch her again for 20 minutes. Oxytocin spikes on contact. Vasopressin builds in the absence. You're teaching her nervous system to miss you while you're still in the room. That last one changes everything. Most men are performing, talking, filling silence with noise, trying to prove they deserve her attention. The men who trigger obsession do less, but everything they do lands with precision. Her brain isn't waiting to be impressed. It's waiting to feel something it can't explain and can't shake. Now here's the question only you can answer. You've felt something like this before. You know exactly what it felt like when someone made you feel seen without trying too hard. You remember how that stayed with you. The question is, have you ever been that person for someone else? Or have you been spending all this time performing when you should have been present? Tell me in the comments. I want to know which one you've been.